Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Monday edition of First Look. I'm Katie Couric. I'm here with Chris Dinan, and Chris and I have been going over the rundown for tonight. And actually, there's a lot of good news going on, right, Chris? We're starting with violent crime statistics. Crime is up pretty dramatically, or at least up considerably in some major metropolitan areas, right?
Right. That's really the headline from the story today, is that while overall crime is up for the first time in a while, in the big cities, it's really substantially up, sometimes 10%, sometimes a little bit more.
And this is an FBI report, and Bob Orr is going to be doing it and tell us, hopefully, the underlying reasons for the increase in violent crime. Byron Pitts did a piece not too long ago about sort of mid-sized cities experiencing this, but this is now big cities, right?
Right. With cities with populations over 1 million people are seeing a real spike in crime, so that's obviously of concern to everybody who lives there.
And Hari Srinivasan, I just like to say Hari's name because I say it so well, it rolls off my tongue. Hari Srinivasan is doing a bounce piece about New Orleans because they've had a lot of violent crime, which is no surprise, really. I mean, is there something new about this, or are they dealing with it in a different way?
Well, there's going to be an intervention of sorts. Authorities on all levels of government are making it a priority to reduce the amount of crime there, and especially violent crime and murders, which of course have been soaring for a variety of reasons that are special to New Orleans, but still of great concern to everybody.
Yeah, because I guess the prisons, a lot of people escape from the prisons and the police department. It's just a big mess down there, but that'll be an interesting sort of update on what's going on there. Then we're continuing to sort of follow this JFK terror plot.
Catane's piece is going to take a look at what's the reality of pipeline safety, whether they're really at risk and vulnerable. And of course, these plotters had planned to wreak true havoc, and I don't think that, given the safety precautions that have been done for pipelines, that they wouldn't have succeeded at the larger problem that they wanted to create. But it's definitely a concern, and he'll look at them as targets.
Something that a lot of people haven't really thought about. You know, they think about nuclear power plants and other facilities, and so this will be kind of a fresh eye about a potential target, or whether how, as you said, how vulnerable it really is. Lara Logan, our chief foreign correspondent, is in an embed with General Petraeus. He's talking about the surge, again, urging patience. And now there's an Islamic website that is claimed to have killed those 2 missing soldiers?
Right. Sadly, this morning, an Islamist website came out and said that it had video of the attack and aftermath of the ambush on the soldiers in Mahmoudiya about a month ago or so, that led to this huge search for them. And while one body was found, 2 remain missing to this day. They claim, although have not shown any proof aside from ID cards, that they had killed them. And so we're following up on that.
Let's mention this other story because I think it's so interesting. It's really the first war tribunal or military tribunal over child soldiers, and Sheila McVicker is covering that.
Right. For the first time ever, The Hague is trying a leader for involving children in his violence. They recruited soldiers in the Liberian army for the war in Sierra Leone, and this is the first time that you're going to see somebody tried for doing that. And I mean, the stories are horrible, and we listen to one child soldier in the piece and describe what it was like to go from being an innocent child to a full-fledged soldier.
And of course, there are other African nations and other nations around the world that also use children in their militias. And I know I heard one young woman talking about this at the United Nations, and when they're female child soldiers, of course, they're vulnerable to all sorts of sexual assaults and rapes, and it's just a horrific situation. So, possibly this will make a dent in a number of countries that are practicing this, and it really is an atrocity. And
by holding them accountable, you hope that it makes a person who wants to do that in the future think twice.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a lot going on. I didn't mention John Blackstone's piece, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. So that's on Escape from Alcatraz. Tell us about that.
There's a triathlon that's taking place that begins in Alcatraz, hence the name Escape from Alcatraz, but it really is involving some more veterans who have lost limbs or amputees and are showing just how strong they can be.
Chris had an excellent weekend, in case you were wondering. He took his son to Thomas the Tank Engine Live, and as usual, don't despair, Thomas saved the day. Meanwhile, I went to Williams and gave the graduation address, and I'm posting it on CBSNews.com if any of you want to check out what I told these graduates, which is a huge challenge. You know, they're really
Right.
smart kids, and you want to make sure that you're giving them some helpful advice. So I hope I was able to tell them something that they can take with them as they go out into this big, bad, complicated, crazy world that we're all living in right now.
And that we'll be reporting on tonight.
Oh, what a very nice little button you just
Thank you.
gave me. All right, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank
And
you.
that does it for this Monday edition of First Look. Hope you'll watch tonight. I think it's going to be a really good show, and we'll see you then. Bye.